Are you struggling to choose a printing method for your business and want to know the process involved in each one? Well, our video is a comparison of two printing methods, direct-to-garment and screen printing. Screen printing and direct-to-garment are viable, so if you're either starting a business or developing one in the textile printing industry, it all depends on your business model and strategy. Now, in operating your business, it is essential for you to examine your production scope, size, applications, and budget, so you can practically decide on which printing method to implement in your business idea. So before making a decision, you must consider and understand the advantages and disadvantages on both printing methods. For starters, screen printing is a traditional method of printing using a mesh, which is exposed having one for each color and design layout. Then the paint is swiped over the mesh onto the textile. This traditional method of printing has dominated the garment industry for quite a long time. However, businesses are looking out for different printing methods to expand their business. Now, screen printing is meant for high production projects. Keeping in mind your financial plan and production scale, the equipment used for screen printing can easily cost around $250,000. Furthermore, the equipment used in screen printing takes up a large scale. When it comes to screen printing, there are some aspects on investing on an equipment that could be a hassle in the long term, where you would have to invest on an expert on the field, time, and quality. Looking more into the screen printing procedure, you would know how critical the screen printing procedure is. So the following slides will explain and elaborate the complexity and sensitivity of screen printing. Step 1. Stretching the mesh into the frame. Step 2. Printing the positive films. Step 3. Applying the photosensitive emulsion into the stretched screen and let it dry in the dark room. Step 4. Exposing the screen with the positive film. Step 5. Removing the unexposed emulsion using water. And finally, with Step 6, dry the screen and you can start screen printing. In screen printing, there are a lot of equipment and supplies needed. Screen print machine, shelves and storage for ink, gallons of plastisol ink, $50 to $90 per gallon, measuring scale, temporary containers and mixing equipment, carts for transporting garments, dozens of additional screens, washout booth, exposing unit, dehumidifier, screen storage racks, emulsions, coatings, and cleaning chemicals, tunnel dryer, flash curing unit, large air compressor, transformer, inverter, film printing machine, film alignment device. The steps on making a screen for printing. Imagine you have to go through all the process for each color that's in your design and how one error could affect the whole procedure and that you are limited to color variation. But then, in screen printing, if you have enough budget and can master the process and the high volume production, only then you can earn back your expenditures and gain revenue. So now, there is a recent printing method where you directly print your artwork onto the textile using only your computer. This method is called direct-to-garment printing or DTG printing. Now, we're going to talk about the process of DTG printing. First is to design your artwork from any imaging software, followed by using the RIP software. The RIP software is basically the software used to determine the quality settings you prefer that will be printed onto your garment. So the settings could be on draft mode for higher production or on a higher quality resolution to get an excellent printout quality. It is your choice to either compromise high quality or time and money. This software can also determine how much the print settings will cost you. Continuing to the second step, which is loading your garment onto the DTG printer and going ahead with the printing using CMYK ink on light garment, whereas for the dark garments, use white ink prints as an underbase layer, then the CMYK ink. In this case, for dark garments, it is recommended to pre-treat so the garments will be prepared for printing. Now, for the last step, which is heat pressing. It's pretty simple. You just proceed to heat press the garment for about 60 seconds to cure the inks, or you may also use tunnel dryers. Talking about the pros and cons of screen printing. First on the pros list is screen printing being fast and economic for high volume orders. Followed by the specialist inks, you can use the colors silver, gold, and leather. Next is screen printing being able to print on wider range of materials. And lastly, the inks used for screen printing are Pantone colors, meaning the colors are not difficult to find as it's universal. On the other hand, the negative side of screen printing are the setup charges. If you have no knowledge on setting up a screen printing business, you would need someone who is an expert on the field. Hiring an expert would also lead to a high amount investment. Now, the large working area. In screen printing, you would be required to find a large working area to get a rotary machine or a line table, as well as a stocking area for your exposed screens and ink containers. Following point. Screen printing is not ideal for a minimum order requirement or customized designs unlike the DTG business. In addition to that, screen printing can be slow and costly when it comes to getting multicolors printed. And lastly, it is environmentally hazardous because of the chemicals in the emulsion remover. Moving on to the pros and cons of DTG. DTG has a low investment and no setup charges. It has instant turnaround times. In addition to that, using a DTG printer is very quick and easy because of its printing method, printing any artwork or design you prefer on the multiple shirts simultaneously in a small working area because of the size of the DTG machine. Now, the DTG is deemed as an ideal solution for customized design printing that is a low volume production. So when printing on shirts using DTG, the CMYK inks gives you a full color print outcome on your shirt, and the ink used by DTG are eco-friendly, which makes it safe and harmless, unlike screen printing. On the other hand, DTG has limitations when it comes to printable materials, unlike in screen printing. Followed by this is that DTG does not use Pantone colors, only full color. For the next point, DTG printing is actually slow for high volume productions. Then for the durability of the DTG printing, it is roughly up to 60 washes. So for the last point, DTG uses CMYK inks but has no specialty inks of silver, gold, and leather. Here is a tip on DTG. Indeed, DTG machines functions faster than screen printing, but the printing speed is subject to your artwork, the size of the artwork, the resolution, and lastly the process of handling the pre-treatment before printing and the curing of the ink after printing. Basically, just because the DTG machine functions faster doesn't mean you should compromise the quality of the print outcome of the artwork on the shirts. Now, the comparison between screen printing versus DTG in terms of environmental impact. Screen printing inks, which are called plastisol, releases dioxins, which is considered one of the most toxic chemicals known. Most plastisol inks are actually solvent-based. Certain chemicals are used such as hexane, methanol, propylene oxide, ethanol, butanol, and much more. These chemicals are used to keep the color of the ink suspended during operation. Consecutively, there are many pigments that are used as colorants, and these inks are based on heavy metals like copper, manganese, zinc, etc. So these chemicals are chronically toxic to humans and the environment. The impact of DTG on the environment is close to nothing because the screen printing additives, wastes, chemicals, and much more are not used in DTG printing. As mentioned previously, DTG printers uses water-based inks, meaning they are eco-friendly and the overall process does not consume so much power. DTG inks contains less volatile organic compounds and carbon dioxide footprint, less water, and solid waste. So now that the market nowadays is evolving and changing, the demand for low volume, customized, and full color print are growing. Hence, DTG is deemed a perfect solution to meet the demands of the market. Now, in order to meet the demands of your market, you should know that running a DTG business gives you the benefit of having no minimum order, and customized designs can be given to you to be printed on the spot. The designs or artwork given are vibrant full-color prints. Let's say you have an order of 100 shirts. You can still operate fast because of the printing speed of the DTG. And of course, the DTG machines are eco-friendly, which means you still contribute to the sustainability of the environment. To give you a brief idea of the production costs, here is an estimation that is roughly calculated based on the DTG inkjet printer, using CMYK inks with 1 pass and white cotton t-shirts. Printing 12 shirts in 30 minutes costs $40, and in 3 hours that's $91. Printing 48 shirts in 2 hours costs $160, and in 3 hours that's $182. Printing 96 shirts in 4 hours costs $320 to $322. And lastly, printing with 192 shirts in 8 hours costs $640. In 5 hours, that's $500. Although these are only estimation prices without the operating costs, basically the figure as shown tells you that DTG gives you low investment and high-end profits. Now, when printing using the DTG printers, pre-treatment is applied on the t-shirts, hence why you get your designs and artwork printed out as vibrant as ever. However, on some occasions, pre-treatment applied is not perfect using only the spray, which can be time-consuming and critical. That's why there are pre-treatment machines. These pre-treatment machines give you faster and consistent pre-treatment, which improves the efficiency on operating your DTG business. In addition, using pre-treatment machines also reduces the wastage of the pre-treatment sprayed on the t-shirts. It is not an issue operating a pre-treatment machine. It's simply loading the t-shirts on the platen, and with just the press of a button, you get a perfect pre-treatment every time, thus making you print better t-shirts. For those into the screen printing business, there is a digital and environmental way to make screens for screen printing. Screen printing made easy by Rezo. The Digital Screen Maker by Riso gives you low investment. It has been created to be very quick and easy in operation, just by using the computer and exposing it directly onto the screen. It also makes the half-toning easier. Another notable benefit of using Riso is that you do not need to invest on big working areas, unlike the traditional method of creating screens. The Digital Screen Maker machine is deemed portable and convenient. Last but not least is the Digital Screen Maker by Riso is sustainable to the environment and to the people running the screen printing business. No emulsions, no film positives, no water waste, not even harmful chemicals are used. Everything is digital and eco-friendly. Comparing the process of digital to the traditional method of screen making. In the digital way, the first step is to get the screen stretched onto the frame and have your artwork or design ready on your computer. Once the first step is ready, the second step is to place the stretched screen on the Digital Screen Maker and proceed to get the screen exposed with your artwork, and voila, you have your screen created. But then, in the traditional way, the first step is to have your artwork and positive film along with the stretched screen coated with emulsion and dried after the emulsion for a long period of time. Once the first step is done and ready, you proceed to expose the screen for a period of time in a dark room. After exposure, you wash the emulsion off the screen and proceed to dry the screen. After these following steps, you finally get your screen. After looking at both printing methods, we can say that both are viable and cannot replace each other, but it all depends on your business model. If you're interested in high volume, simple, with 1 or 2 color designs, and fast production, then screen printing is perfect for you. However, if you're interested in low volume, full color, and complex designs, then DTG is what you're looking for.